All right, with me today I have a lovely lady who's part of the PR company that looks after us. I'm going to keep her anonymous. So she's going to have this discussion with me, ask me the pertinent questions that we think are necessary for you to know and answer, and give you perspective on the media. But before we go into that, I just want to say that to me it appears that there's been a capture, not of state of any sort on my side. I'm in Zimbabwe, I'm an investor. I can't understand what I've done wrong in South Africa, that these people write all what they're writing. I certainly am not a tiny Roland. I'm not an Oppenheimer that went to Zimbabwe and did whatever it is they did. I had no gain in any way whatsoever in Zimbabwe. I befriended a lot of people in Zimbabwe. They're fantastic people. They're well educated. They have a great sense of humor most of the time. But most importantly, they understand process. And wherever they're able to assist you in order to make your business successful, they will go out of their way. And that's not only one person. That's all the way from the president down to the people that work in our operations down there. So what the media doesn't tell you is that we have almost 3,000 people working in Zimbabwe, and more than that, directly and indirectly. And the good work that we do there, the involvement that we have in the local community, the clinics, the schools, all our contribution to that. All that this is a personal attack from me. I want you to understand that Sam Saul goes back to the days of Nose Week with me. And he may have a personal grudge, which is fine. I don't particularly care about it. The other day I looked him up on the internet, and I saw a picture of him. I was rather surprised. I don't want to give my comments, but let me leave it at that. The issue for me is quite simple. You know, when it comes to these investigative journalists, I think it's a fantastic idea that we do have them, and they do great work in exposing crime, in exposing impropriety, in doing all the things that investigative journalists must do. But when they have got an ultimate purpose behind it, and they're driven by a different type of narrative that's owned by someone else, and they're used as a tool, that becomes a problem for me. So it seems to me that Sam plays that game all the time. He only writes bad articles. I don't read AmaBhungane, unfortunately, or should I say fortunately. But the truth of the matter is that they write nothing good, and it's not a right to do that. You should give a fair and balanced article or input. So when you look at the information I provided to AmaBhungane, I provided a 60-odd page document to them on Wednesday, which was less than 2 days ago. They've taken a long time to write all the things they've written, which is I don't know how many thousands of words, but I gave them at least 20,000 words of responses. They have these little snippets all over the place of my answers, which means they wrote the article long ago, guys, and they wrote it with an intention and a certain narrative that suited them. And then, when they receive my answers from a fancy Italian attorney that writes to us from a fancy lawyer firm, don't want to mention his name, we'll get to him, the issue for us became the following. You can't in 12 hours or 18 hours give a proper use of the information we've given you so that you produce an article that's fair and reasonable as well as balanced. Instead, you've written the article and now you take Moti's answers and put them in highlight all over the place as though you are being fair insofar as journalism is concerned. Anyway, I'm going to pass over to my PR consultant so she can answer the questions or question me on some of the stuff that's in that article, and we can deal with it.